Great news as 3 states now pay PUA LWA benefits and retroactively, but did they send it in a purple envelope? Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is LLA. This is afternoon's LLA, our 2-hour programming block that starts every day at 3:30 with the check, then Hazard Pay, which had big news today, then FPUC, and then rent eviction, which has incredible great news today. Join me. We bring rent back into the mix as Hurricane Laura dissipates. Shocking details today about LWA and PUA. I mean, just great news across the board. Great news about payment, about mounts, about routing times, about retroactiveness. So I'll be detailing all that and more. And then I'll be getting to great news also about the progress on FPUC 2.0, bringing back the real FPUC. And finally, some shocking news about whether or not this election will actually occur in the fall. Lord. All right, let's get right to the detail. First, breaking news minutes ago, and I got it right here. 3 states now have already paid out LWA benefits for at least the first week. They are Arizona, Louisiana, and Missouri. They now report to already sending out funds. Now, as to Arizona here, let me give you an example of what's going on in Arizona. Thanks to one of the nice viewers of this channel. Arizona was the first state to apply for LWA. They moved really fast, and they apparently have now paid retroactive current benefits and future benefits under LWA. This is incredible. Let me explain how much money they're paying out. First of all, they're doing LWA Arizona all the way back to the very first week after FPUC expired. So this is incredibly great news. So that's that week in July, remember? They're paying $300 for that week. They're paying for the next week of July, the next week in August, so you brings you all the way up to the present, and then they're paying forward. The viewer reported 4 weeks, not 3, but 4 weeks of LWA paid, now done, over. Wow, this is incredibly great news. There's a lot of things that's great news about this, so let me go very slowly. First, retroactiveness. A lot of states are now reporting they will do LWA retroactive to the first week after the end of FPUC. So they're doing 300, 300, they bring it up to the present. Second, some of the states are now reporting, like Arizona, that they'll bring it up to the present and they'll actually pay you the weeks going forward. They're not going to sit around and do more mathematical calculations, just making it simple. So they're actually sending out $900. Next, some states in those earlier states got more money. And so they're paying out 4 weeks of $300, $1,200. This is really incredible, great news. What's going on? As I said, as soon as LWA was announced, I said that FEMA reported the first about 2 to 4 states would likely get 4 weeks of benefits, not 3 weeks of benefits, because they got in first. Well, those earlier states got that money, and they include Arizona. So Arizona issued $252.6 million to 400,000 workers last week, says Brett Bezio, spokesperson for the Department of Economic Security, and will issue payments for the weeks ending August 1st and August 8th. We'll get them in the next couple of days as well. Really great news. So 1, retroactive benefits. 2, all the benefits coming up to the present. 3, benefits going forward. So you're really up to date. 4 weeks of benefits in those earlier states, $1,200. And 5, the money's coming now. How about the other states? Well, the states that are approved, the reports are 1, you're going to get retroactive benefits. 2, you're going to get 3 payments of $300. And 4, you can get the payments in the next 7 days. I mean, this is just great news all across the board. This is not how FEMA initially made us very nervous. It made the shirt change from purple to like dark brown in a second because I was just, sweating bullets. I'm like, oh no, what are you doing to me, FEMA? You got to get this money out to these people. Well, let me comment about one question because I've seen this in some of the comments. Uh, any money dedicated for FEMA for Hurricane Laura, that's not this money. So people think that they're not going to get LWA because of Hurricane Laura. No, it just don't think that way. That's a little too confusing. So currently, there's 34 states approved for the $300 a week LWA. As you know, LWA was created by the executive order of the president. LWA has not turned into what Petty Pelosi thought was going to be a big debacle. When Petty Pelosi heard from MOVIN MEADOWS that the president was going to do FPUC by executive order, she said, good luck. We thought it was going to be litigation. We thought none of the states were going to do it. We thought only Republican states were going to ask for it. Oh, no. It has really backfired in Petty Pelosi's face. This is a thing that was created by the president, for the president, with his staff. He found the FEMA money. He did not even consult with Nancy about it. He went out and figured out where there was money sitting around. He used that money and he set it out. Really, it is an achievement for the president to get through. Now, what's not an achievement for the president is the rest of his Republican Party. MOVIN MEADOWS continued to move today, as did Mitch McConnell, who literally is making a joke of himself with what's called the skinny Republican proposal bill. I got to say proposal very firm because it's a proposal. It's not a bill. It's something written on a computer or crayons if it's Mitch McConnell. It has never been introduced to the House or the Senate. It's not even been produced to Waffle House. It's just, that's my new line. I just came up with that. It's so bad it's not even introduced at Waffle House. What is it today? Well, every day it's different than the day it was before. It's like, it's soup du jour and Louis de Joy. I mean, it's just changing by the day. If you don't recall, and you're certainly probably trying to forget it, Mitch McConnell only 3 weeks ago said you weren't entitled to any FPUC. You were on a welfare state. You were getting rich on the federal government. This is the man who's today. His state is one of only 2 states that's paying the $100 supplement for LWA. I mean, I can't even say it with a straight face. It's just a ridiculous irony of this man. But he originally didn't want to give you any FPUC. Then he wrote to the HEALS Act at $200 a week FPUC, which I said, a joke. Before he wrote the HEALS Act, I said, hey, I would hope the Republicans come in at about 400 or 500 because that's going to get it done. I said if they come in at 300, 200, we're just never going to see this done. And they came in at 200. I said, this is a joke. Now, the president came out with LWA, which by executive order reads as $400 a week. So the president wanted $400 a week. He just said the 100 comes from the states. The days before the executive order was issued, Steve Mnuchin was offering $400 to Petty Pelosi. And MOVIN MEADOWS was never wanting to put in writing or on broadcast news the number that Mnuchin was offering, but it was $400 a week. So where are we today? Well, the skinny bill proposal, the thing on crayons, the thing on a napkin from the now defunct Chuck E. Cheese's cafeteria, currently today apparently is phrased as maybe $300 to $400 a week. Maybe, like sort of pregnant. The sort of maybe bill last week was sort of maybe 200 to 300. Now this week it's sort of maybe 300 to 400. This is why people don't like MOVIN MEADOWS. It's like you want to look like you want to get things done, but in the same regard, you simply just don't want to give specifics. And you and the Republicans continually play this, we'll get to it. This is not the first time people have seen this, and they're really tired of it. Steve Mnuchin was asked specifically over and over and over again about what number he was going to put in the HEALS Act for the extension of FPUC before it was announced. He said, we'll get to it. I'm not going to say it right now. I'll get to it. We'll get to it. What number is it? We'll get to it. He did that for 2 weeks. And finally, the number came out, and then he never endorsed the number. So there's something wrong with these Republicans that simply don't want to choose the number. My personal thought of what's going on is there's not an agreement upon Republicans. The reason why I say that is because Mitt Romney and Marco Rubio, who are generally perceived as more to the center of the Republicans, They introduced their own FPUC extension bill, and that one I think was at $400 a week. So they didn't think $300 a week or $200 a week works. They're both, economic and real estate people, so that's what's really interesting. So where next? Where will FPUC get extended at? I've been reporting for 4 weeks, and I'm not going to keep my change in my reporting. I'm standing by it. That's going to land at $400, $600 a week. It's going to land at $400, $600 a week. Nancy Pelosi is going to be at $600. MEADOWS is going to be at $400, and they're going to somewhere settle. I really do think, and I've done the math for you, I'm not going to do it again in this video, that Pelosi is really endangering you by not taking $400, because every week you don't get $400 just piles up. I mean, it just piles up. And if you go 4 weeks without $400 at $1,600, you go 2 months without $400, it's $3,200. Every time you don't get $400 in your pocket per week, it piles up. And that's just for a single person. Imagine if you're a married couple and you're both unemployed. It doubles up. It just really, you need this money right now. All right, so here's another twist. I mean, this is really shocking for second stimulus. This is really shocking news for second stimulus. And it's not quite clear where to put it, so I put it in this video. Could the election not occur this fall? I don't think I have enough purple shirts for this one. Yes, the chances of a delayed election still are out there, says a new CNBC report. They are slim chances, but still out there. The legal issue about it is the House and Senate must agree to postpone the election, but Nancy Pelosi is still claiming that the Republicans are going to rig the election with the mailbox scandal, which she thinks is not over. Remember, her mailbox bill got nowhere. I mean, she got a bill approved by the Senate. It doesn't change anything. She asked to have the mailboxes put back into position. The sorting facilities that sort the mail and send them out, she wanted them put back in. They're not being put back in there. Rather, more facilities have been taken out, more sorting facilities have been disabled. So her concerns are still there. President Donald Trump said at the RNC, this is the greatest scam in the history of politics. There's going to be mail out of $80 million ballots. It's impossible. They have no idea. There's a concern that the president's going to claim that the election is invalidated. There's a claim that the Democrats are going to claim the election is invalidated. What would this do for stimulus rather than dealing with the politics, which I don't do politics on this channel except when it's petty or moving. There's a big concern that if we have a delayed election, that the stock market will crash, jobs will shut down, business will go belly up, and we'll see really then the financial cliff. We haven't seen the financial cliff because there's been, a lot of technology companies that have done well during this pandemic. And so they have been sort of the window dressing of a bad economic environment. Everyone's talking about how great they are, but there's everything else that's not going well. Well, the new reports obtained by LA minutes ago say, hey, if you have a delayed election, you better have a lot of stimulus ready, because if you don't, this economy is literally going to tank in seconds. What am I talking about? Basically, the stock market doesn't like uncertainty, doesn't like shock or horror. And a delayed election is about as scandalous and shocking as they can envision. When we see uncertainty go up, we see the economic actors, including investors, stop making decisions, says political economist Marco Goulian. And it's precisely putting decisions on hold which could have devastating consequences. The element of surprise would be so big that I think the market and the economic decision makers would be so shocked that I think we would have a period of some chaotic development in the markets and the economy. Justin Levitt, a former deputy attorney to the Justice Department, says we want all the electorates to know that when they make their choice reliably, it's not going to be ignored. It's not going to be postponed. It's going to be listened to. To maintain that confidence, we need the election scheduled to be set. So could this not happen? It's up to Congress, says Levitt, but the House and Senate have to agree to change the election day in order for that election day to change. And an election day is a matter of federal law. It can't be changed unless both houses of Congress agree to it. Now, there's an awful lot of that Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell don't necessarily agree upon. It's extremely unlikely that they're going to agree to move election day for whatever reason possible. But understand this is a political economist predicting Patty Pelosi's thought process in a week in which she's really said that she doesn't like what's going on with this election. Who would become president? Yeah, let's be a little petty. It'll be whatever her name is, says some constitutional attorneys. Coming up next is as FPUC with some really shocking development. And then rent. I bring rent back into the second schedule. Do 3 things for me. If you like this video, like the shirt, please like this video. Hit it like you want to, hit that balloon at the amusement park and you're like, give me stimulus, give me stimulus. Hit that like button and go to the front of this channel and hit the subscribe and alert button so you get alert when a new video goes live and you are subscribed and tuned in with the Purple Power. Thank you for this incredible community. We've really grown. This morning's video did incredibly well, an incredible number of likes. So thank you. I think it was our most watched morning's LLA broadcast ever. We're really growing. We're really staying as a community. My deepest regret is I sometimes don't have enough time to respond to all your comments, social media, Twitter, Instagram, the channel. So I sometimes take personal, it sometimes makes me depressed because I don't have enough time to respond to all you because you have really great comments. So with that, stay informed, stay motivated, stay smiling. We're going to get everything. Don't worry. And stay in LA for more.